Good day, and welcome to Gone Guy TV. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a trip out to Goodsprings, Nevada, which is just about 25 miles outside of Las Vegas. And there, we're going to be stopping in at the Pioneer Saloon, famous in these parts, primarily because it is the oldest operating saloon in all of southern Nevada. Opened up originally in 1913 by a then county commissioner. And that commissioner's name was George Fale. George moved to southern Nevada from Calico, California in 1904. He settled in what was then known as Goodsprings Junction, which he later renamed for his wife, Jean. Jean still stands today as the second wide spot in the road as you drive north on the 15 into Nevada. In 1912, he moved to Goodsprings, where he built the Pioneer Saloon in 1913. He also built a hotel, a general store. Tragically, he died of the flu epidemic in 1918, but his vision still lives on through the saloon itself, which is still a center for community life. Yeah, the Pioneer Saloon has a long and colorful history that is accented by its also long history of colorful and eccentric owners. And the same can be said about the most current owner, who claims he won the saloon in an all-night poker game. He also claims to be a graduate of the Louisiana State Correctional System, as well as a musician and longtime entrepreneur, who has the given name of Stephen Stats. Stephen apparently likes to be known as Old Man Liver, and he's labeled a whiskey by that same name. That whiskey, by the way, is available at the Pioneer Saloon, both by bottle and the shot. Current folklore has it that Stephen won the Pioneer Saloon in an all-night poker game, but there are also reports that he and his partner purchased the Pioneer Saloon from its former owner, Noel Shekels, for $1.5 million in 2021. And in keeping with the tradition of colorful personas, the new owner claims himself to be a professional drinker, with a motto that he's now emblazoned on the uniforms of some of the employees of whiskey, women, and weed. And amongst his top priorities in life, he proclaims that he wants to make smoking cool again. On the other side of that colorful personality, and per the website, Stephen is a graduate of the California Lutheran University, and among his top priority is to be a good family man. It pretty much seems that to be a successful entrepreneur at the Pioneer Saloon, you need that type of breadth and depth to your personality. You may have noticed in the title there was a reference to "Don't Go," and I think it's even captioned on the thumbnail to this particular episode. Well, that's a somewhat qualified "Don't Go," and well, I'll get into the details of that here in a moment. So for now, let's just go take a look at the Pioneer Saloon. Well, to get to this Pioneer Saloon, we go to Goodsprings, which is a 25-minute drive south of Las Vegas on the I-15. Simply take the Jean exit, jump on Sandy Valley Road, and follow it until you see it. Well, here we are, just off the 15, and now heading out to Goodsprings. This is Highway 161, State Route 161, and that's right off the I-15 heading south, so just about 15 minutes outside of Las Vegas. And it's a lovely road. We'll see more of it. So we're about 3 miles into the 161 off of the main freeway, the I-15 there. And as you can see, this pretty much looks like on the way to every other good place in southern Nevada, which means you go through a lot of nothing before you get to the place you're going to. Yeah, I like to do a lot of sightseeing for you here, but pretty much desertscape with mountains in the background. Although I'm not sure you can see it, just slightly off to the right, there is a smattering of snow up on that hill. Any rate, we're probably about 3 more miles from the saloon, and we'll catch up when we get a little closer. So I did want to mention, as we're kind of coming up here on some signs, they sort of pulled over so we could see it. There's a couple interesting little side trips out this way, gunship helicopters and Vegas dirt bandits. Both adventures, one obviously in a helicopter, and the other one, uh, well, just down and dirty. Anyway, yeah, those are just coming up here at the intersection to Sandy Valley, which is I think the only major intersection on this road. So we go straight here, and that'll get us to Goodsprings. And if we turn to the left, off to the fork there, would be Sandy Valley. And that's where those two adventures are, the gunship and the dirty time. But right now, we're going to continue on to the Pioneer Saloon, which is on its way into Goodsprings. And actually, you can see the sign right up here. Welcome to Goodsprings. All right, we're going to make the corner here, and looks like the saloon has some company today. Got some bikes out there, which is pretty common for here. And I'll make this corner. Looks like they're doing some expansion. Oh, just kind of pulled into the parking lot here. There's two of them, one up front, one in the back. But just wanted to give you an idea what it'll look like. They are two connected, by the way, two separate buildings, but belonging to the same place, the Goodspring General Store and the Pioneer Saloon. So before we go inside, I just wanted to give a close-up panorama of the front of the complex, the saloon, the courtyard you see behind those gates, and the general store. Okay, here we are on the inside. I'll have a couple of shots of the back bar and then around the front room here. The bar is divided into two parts. This first part here is the main room where the bar is, and then we'll see the second one here shortly. What I do a very poor job of showing here is the fact that the original bar itself is cherry wood, built in Brunswick, Maine in the 1918s and shipped completely across the country. It's absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and been here since 1918. And I don't show it. But the good Lord takes care of children and fools. Here we have a photograph that was provided by our good friends at Yelp that show a better shot of the bar. And if you look at the gentleman in the black shirt in the background, you'll see he's wearing the Whiskey, Women, and Weed shirt I was referring to earlier. I suspect I might be one of the few YouTube content creators who understands who Clark Gable and Carol Lombard were. Suffice it to say, they were the equivalent of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie of our time. And I bring this up because that second room I referred to earlier, inside the Pioneer Saloon, is actually dedicated to Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, for reasons you'll soon see. A coin flip and a pilot's inexplicable miscalculation combined to snuff out one of Hollywood's brightest stars 82 years ago, writing a chapter in local history that continues to attract fans and the curious to Goodsprings and the Pioneer Saloon. Carol Lombard, the blonde, screwball movie star whose marriage to Clark Gable 3 years earlier had been front page news, and 21 others perished when a TWA plane crashed on the night of January 16th, 1942, shortly after takeoff from nearby McCarran Field in Las Vegas. Gable, who'd been filming a movie in Hollywood, rushed to the city, first hoping for a miracle and then keeping a grief-stricken vigil at the nearby Pioneer Saloon. Decades have passed since Lombard's death, but patrons of the Pioneer Saloon in Goodsprings still raise their glasses to the actress and her husband. They likely will spend a few minutes gazing at the Lombard and Gable memorabilia hanging on the wall and the cigar burn marks on the bar that legend says were left behind by a disconsolate and drunken Gable. And then they'll listen once more to a tragic tale of fame, love, and fate that continues to captivate to this day. Now, this is the part of the video where I'll explain my qualified don't go recommendation that I referred to earlier. No, I'm not a foodie. I'm certainly not a food critic, but I do like to eat. And if I can be so bold as to use Supreme Court Justice's Casablanca test, I'll certainly know good food when I eat it. The menu at the Pioneer Saloon is pretty extensive for a bar and saloon menu. They do serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and includes a lot of the staples you'd expect. Burgers, in fact, the Ghost Burger is a signature dish of theirs, as well as sandwiches, pizzas, ribs, etc. For my visit, I chose the Pioneer Melt, which by another name would be known as a patty melt. Rye bread, burger meat, grilled onions, and cheese. The best I could see, all meals at the Pioneer Saloon are served in these paper boxes and plastic utensils. I believe this has something to do with the kitchen expansion that they are planning to do or are currently doing. I should also note that photographing food is one of the most challenging tasks any photographer can do. And, well, I'm not even a photographer. But that said, this wasn't the most pleasant presentation I've ever had, even for bar food. All in all, well, the dining experience was a little underwhelming. Not the best, not the worst, but I wouldn't go just for the food. And that leads me back to the caption and title of this video. Pioneer Saloon. Go for the ambiance, go for the whiskey, go for the music, go for the history, go for the experience. But just don't go only for the food. But having just said that, I can tell you I will be going back and I will be trying their signature Ghost Burger. Thank you for joining me on this trip out to Goodsprings and the Pioneer Saloon. I look forward to our next adventure together on Gone Guy TV.